Hello, football fans. Here we are. Western Final. Okanagan Suns at the Winnipeg Red Foxes. I got the ratings up here. So we're looking at Okanagan with a C, D, B, D, and Winnipeg with an F, D, C, C. Both teams with very good ratings, and that's why we're seeing some lower ratings here. So yeah, this will be an interesting final. And let's, okay, home advantage. Winnipeg is going to get the home advantage here. Wow, what are we going to do? So they got the F against Okanagan, C in quarter one, and it's a DD. Yeah, this is a really tough choice. Okanagan at Winnipeg. Actually, you know what? Let's look at the these games. These teams have played each other previously. Okanagan, Winnipeg. So Okanagan won in Winnipeg, and they lost at home to Winnipeg. So they evened it up in this series. It's funny, they both won their away games against each other. So the game in Winnipeg, that was in week 7. Okanagan, Winnipeg, week 7. So let me see if I can quickly find it here. Oh, that's week 2. We're going to be way up here. Week 8. Okay, Okanagan at Winnipeg. No. Here we go. From week 7, looks like Winnipeg took in the first quarter. They changed their F to a D. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually thinking I'm going to convert the either quarter 2 or quarter 4. So take advantage of the D rating of Okanagan there. So let's go with quarter 2. And this game, Okanagan won 24-13 on the road. Winnipeg missed 3 field goals in that one, it looks like. So okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say quarter 2 D up to a C, so we can take advantage of that D defensive rating for Okanagan. All right, Western Final, we're ready to roll here. Let me get my scoring chart over here. Let's get this game going. So let's see who gets first ball. Oops, there we go. All right, quarter 1. Who's going to get the first ball here? It's going to be Okanagan. All right, let's get this match running. Okanagan with the ball. 2 minutes off the clock. Down to the 13-minute mark. And Okanagan with a C6. And that's a touchdown. Good start for the road team. That is a TD pass, 7. So the Suns up 7-0. Winnipeg working on this F rating in the first quarter. Oh boy. Okay, 12-minute mark. Looks like they get the ball and they right away. It looks like probably an interception. Yeah, interception. Oh man. The home fans are, well, let's just say the crowd went silent all of a sudden. All right, 2 more minutes down to the 10-minute mark. So Okanagan on the interception moves up to a B. That's a B4, and that's a field goal. So 3 more points, 10-0 for the Suns. And we're only at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. They're already down 10-0. So they got to. Oh wow! Look at, there's another one. So down to the 6-minute mark, Winnipeg with the F1, another interception, and I think that just let the air out of the stadium. Especially if Okanagan is able to capitalize and score on this. 2 more minutes off the clock. Now the 4-minute mark, that is a C up to a B, B3, another field goal. Not completely catastrophic, but wow, that's a big, that's a good size lead. So it's going to make my mark there. Yeah, that's a good size lead, I tell you. Let's see. Sorry, the marker 3 down. 1, 2, 3. Just marking where I typically divide the games here up on the page. Okay, Winnipeg. Can you get anything going here in this F rating quarter? Maybe not. 2 more minutes off. Down to the 2-minute mark. Winnipeg with the F3, and they have to punt it away. Well, their fans will be happy that they're punting and not turning it over. Okanagan. Okay, 3 minutes. We're down into quarter 2 now, and that's at the 14-minute mark. And that is Okanagan is now in the D rating, D6, and they scored a field goal. So they're putting points on the board. They've had points every possession. So after one, that's Okanagan 13 and Winnipeg 0, and now it's 16-0. So Winnipeg has a pretty deep hole to dig out of here. All right, 5 minutes off clock, down to the 9-minute mark. That's a 4. That is Winnipeg, who's now on the C rating, C4. That's a field goal. So they got some points on the board. Fans are cheering, not cheering too loud, but they're cheering and hoping and praying that they can turn it around. Okanagan, 2 minutes off the clock, down to the 7-minute mark. That is a D2 fumble. Okay, so Winnipeg defense coming up big there with the fumble. Can they take advantage of this? It looks like they can. It's down to the 6-minute mark. A quick drive here. Turnover, and Winnipeg with the C up to a B6. TD run 7. All right. They have their offense going now. And looks like they're rolling 16-10 for the Suns over the Red Foxes. Okanagan down to the 2-minute mark. Okanagan with the D5. Oh, it's a TD. Wow. And that's a TD run. So that's a bit of a gut punch, I think. Looks like the half is probably going to end here. Unless I roll a 1 or 2 on the time die. No, the half ends. And we're going into quarter 3. Looks like Winnipeg will start with the ball. And what are we looking at here? Okanagan 3-10. And Winnipeg scores 10. So 23-10 for the Suns over the Red Foxes. Winnipeg starting the ball in the second half here. So Winnipeg with the C and C rating, and Okanagan with the B and D. We'll see what happens here. Winnipeg, 6 minutes off the clock. Down to the 9-minute mark. That is a Winnipeg C5. That's a field goal. And they really need some major scores here. They really need those TDs. All right, 1 minute off the clock. B3. That's a field goal for Okanagan. They're keeping pace and keeping distance on that scoreboard. Winnipeg down to the 6-minute mark. And that is bad news. That's a C1. That's an interception. And that boosts Okanagan up to the A rating on this roll. So we're looking at down to the 1-minute mark for Okanagan. They get an A3. Oh boy, it's a turnover on the A rating. And that is what are we looking at? 1, 2, that's a running back fumble. So the running back with the greasy fingers there can't hold on to that ball. Winnipeg will boost up to, they'll boost up the B rating regardless of whether we're in the third or the fourth quarter. So 2 minutes off the clock, and we are going to quarter 4. And so that's down to the 14-minute mark. Winnipeg boosts up to the B rating because of the fumble. That's a B3. That is a field goal. So they're scoring 3 points there. Okanagan will have the next ball, but let's throw the scores on. So they both scored field goals that quarter. So after 3 quarters, Okanagan Suns 16, Okanagan Suns 26, Winnipeg 13. Down by quite a few, at least two majors there. So into the fourth quarter, Okanagan on the D rating, Winnipeg on the C rating. Here we go. It comes down to this quarter. Can Winnipeg pull it together? Pull it together at home here. So we're looking at Okanagan, 5 minutes off the clock, down to the 9-minute mark. Boy, they're burning the clock there. That's a 6. Okanagan with a D6, and they score a field goal. This team is fired up, and they're just putting points on the board. The offense is not taking, anything from Winnipeg's defense. All right, Winnipeg, what do you got for us here? 2 minutes off. That's 7-minute mark. C6. That's a TD. What kind of TD is that? That is a TD pass for 7. Okanagan. So I just want to quickly have a look at the scores there. So that's 26, 29 to 10, 29, 23. They're only down by 6. Their defense has to hold Okanagan here in the fourth quarter. So Okanagan on the D rating. And, oh boy, look, Okanagan, they are just a scoring machine. Down to the 6-minute mark. That is a D6. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Woo! That's 6 minutes off the clock. That's down to the 1-minute mark. This game is probably going to be over. It's a 1. So that's a D1. That's an interception. And Winnipeg gets the ball back. They are down by 6. And there's 1 minute left. So basically, I have to roll a 1 on the white die. And then, what am I looking at? They're probably down by 7 at least. So a 1... and they're going to be boosted up to B rating. A 1 on the white die and a 5 or 6 on the green. But let's see what happens. No, they cannot do it. The game is over. We're looking at Winnipeg scoring 10 points in that quarter, and Okanagan scoring 3. And there you have it, folks. The Western Final. Bit of an upset there. Okanagan Suns 29. Winnipeg Red Foxes 23. It's an upset game on the road. Close game, but I think what really happened there was Okanagan 13 points in that first quarter, but also just scoring like on almost all their possessions. Touchdown, field goal, field goal, field goal. There was the fumble, but then a touchdown, field goal, another fumble. And if you go, well, I guess Okanagan have 3 turnovers, right? But Winnipeg had 1, 2, 3. So they both had 3 turnovers, but Okanagan was just, putting the points on the board when they needed to. All right, good match. So we're looking at Okanagan Suns winning the West. Tomorrow's game, or whenever I get to it here, next game for the East Final is going to be, as we saw, Toronto upsetting Ottawa 23-18. So Toronto will be playing St. John's for the East Final. And so looks like Okanagan just waiting for the winner of that game. And we're moving on to the final. Okay, can't wait to get there. Thanks, everyone.